Good day. Today I want to talk about a topic on prescription drugs and pharmacies and the cost of prescription drugs. Now, the cost of prescription drugs in the United States is the highest in the world. 100 times it costs more than drugs or prescription medications available in India. 100 times more. Much more expensive than in Canada and much more expensive than in Mexico. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies in the United States are a monopoly. They don't allow medication from other countries to get in, and they control 100% production and import and selling through pharmacies. There are hundreds and thousands of pharmacies across, like Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart, and other independent pharmacies, villages, towns, cities, hundreds and thousands. Now, the Americans living in Canadian border, they're lucky. They can cross without any visa restrictions and buy medications in Canada somehow and get it cheaply. And the people live on Mexican border, like California and of course Texas border. They also cross the border to Mexico and buy very cheap medication. But rest of the Americans who live in the mainland, in the center of the country, or Atlantic or Pacific Ocean side, they have to buy pharmacy, and they're very expensive. Of course, the insurance companies subsidize to a certain extent, but still out-of-pocket expense for prescription drug, very expensive. It will cost you maybe at least $5,000 to $15,000 per year, which is much more than what average person gets Social Security benefit from the government. So some of these Americans looking at the world, how to import cheap medications through mail, although it is illegal. The postmaster general find out or the post office find out, they will destroy it. But mostly it's very difficult to trace. So a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, I went internet shopping to see where I can get prescription drugs cheap in the world. From India, you can get it if you know somebody who will buy it and package and send it. But if you don't have friends or relatives to do that, you have to depend on internet from United States. That's what I did. Because I have relatives, but not close enough to send medication by mail. So I checked the internet. One island in the Indian Ocean called Seychelles Island, or Seychelles Island, off the coast of East Africa and the Indian Ocean. Between East Africa and India, these islands are there. And Mauritius, another island, which of course Indians go regularly on holiday these days. So Seychelles Island is the main island where these pharmacies, they're called International Money Order Pharmacy, IMOP, International Money Order Pharmacy. In other words, on internet, you select one of these pharmacies in Seychelles and click on internet, and then the pharmacy will come and they will list all the medication they sell, A to Z. Every medication in the world are there, most pharmacies. And then after you shop and selected a pharmacy, you select the medication you want, and then you how many quantity, 50 tablets, 100, 200 tablets, you click, and then it show how much money you have to pay. Much, much cheaper than the United States. And then you pay through internet using a credit card, or if you don't have credit card, which is unlikely, everybody have credit card, 1 or 2, 3, 4. You buy a money order, you send it mail or a check to the address. And they will ship in a kind of a strange label, They don't say pharmacy anything on the label, on the parcel, just your address. So the post office don't catch it's illegal medication trade. And then you get it. You see? International Money Order Pharmacies in Seychelles. Remember that. And very few in Mauritius. But mostly they are all aggregated in Seychelles Island and the East Africa, or coast of East Africa in India. Seychelles Island. Check for IMOP or pharmacies. But I call it International Money Order Pharmacy. That's the title I gave for a story on this subject I wrote and published several years ago. So if anybody wants to get a cheap medication cheaply, because in the United States you can't get any medication. You can't walk into a pharmacy and ask for a medication unless you have a prescription. And you don't get prescription unless you get a doctor's visit. That costs anywhere between $65 to $140 just for a visit. That is how it costs. Of course, you can go to Mexico if you're close, or Canada. You can get it too cheap. But not as cheap as you get it from Seychelles. Remember, Seychelles Island sells pharmacies very cheap. And you can get every medication you want. You got it? You're with me?